You've measured out your lines for X height by turning your pen to an angle of 90 degrees and making a series of little steps. So you've got the width of the nib here, and these little steps just touch one another and don't overlap. So you know that that distance is the distance of your X height. The ascenders extend beyond, the descenders descend obviously beyond that way. This is the space between your lines. So how do you transfer these measurements onto another piece of paper? Well, the most obvious way, I suppose, is to use a ruler, and the trouble with this is that rarely have you got convenient measurements, and that is exactly the case here. It's 18.5 millimetres for the lines for X height, and the interlinear space, the space between the lines, is 25.5 millimetres. So using a ruler, I can measure out, and it's going to take some time, 18.5 millimetres, particularly getting it accurate, 25.5 millimetres, 18.5, and so on. A slightly easier way is to use a piece of scrap paper and just mark on the scrap paper where those lines are, and this can then be used on your other paper, and you can see already this is quicker. That's the top line for X height, the bottom line for X height, interlinear space, and so on. A far more accurate way though, and one that I very much prefer and use all the time, is to use these, which are dividers. These are compasses, and good quality compasses have this central wheel, so these arms aren't going anywhere unless I move that wheel. And good quality compasses also have a spare point, so I've simply taken out the pencil lead and replaced it with a point. And using the wheel, I adjust the width between the arms, so that is the X height, and then the interlinear space, just close that up a bit, is this. And then that's really quite a simple exercise to walk these compasses down. That goes in the hole of the previous one. That goes in the hole of that one. I'm doing that with my left hand. Normally I do these both with my right hand, and so on down the paper. And these pinprick marks give me the indications of where I need to draw my lines using a pencil and ruler.